Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming and joining us for the learning of Torah Hashem, as we are sponsored by the Fisher family. Lili Nishmas, Basi Bas Rabbat, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. We're sponsored by Lili Nishmas, David ben Chaim, L'Refu Shalema, for Eliyahu Moshe ben Chayesar, Yaakov ben Bas Yalev, for the Schutz of Avraham ben Yam Menish Mamak Yudis and family, by Yoel Kugman and family. We're sponsored L'Refu Shalema for Moshe Meher ben Esther Fadl Bas Chani, Yitzhak ben Tzia ben Dusha, Rivka bas Shiraleah, Chana bas Shashabina, Avidiraya ben Rivka, Hinda bas Chayesar, Mordechai Tzvi ben Golda, Mordechai David ben Chana. They should all have a Refu Shalema b'Seich Shar Chayla Yisrael. The Mishna tells us that Hashoichet v'nimtza treifa, if you shecht and you find the mother a treifa, or Hashoichet avodah, you shecht avodah, both of them are going to be asa b'achila, v'Hashoichet paras chatas, it's also going to be avodah, it's going to be asa b'hana, v'Hashoichet paras chatas, you shecht the paraduma, which of course is not ready to be eaten, v'shar niskal, or shar that was supposed to be stoned, which of course can't be eaten because it killed a human being, for example, or it committed an act of bestiality. Vegla rufa, or the heifer that was, its neck was, if you shechted an egla rufa, which was supposed to be for an unsolved homicide. So Reb Shimon Paiter, Reb Shimon says that if you shecht the child afterwards, since it's a shchita she'eina ruya lo yishma shchita, and therefore it wouldn't be over. The Chacham say it is a shchita, and therefore you are chayav for oiser v'espenai. Hashoichet, but everybody agrees. Hashoichet v'nesnabla b'yada, if it became nevela, right? That it wasn't a good shchita. Rather, it died by your hand, or v'anoicher, or you stabbed it. V'ma'akar, uprooted the simonim. These are not a good shchita. Then potter mishum oiser v'espenai, because that's not considered a shchita at all. Shnayim shelokhu para uvna. If, let's say, Reuven bought a cow and Shimon bought its child, Ezer shelokach rishon yishchat rishon. The one who bought first, he has the right to shech today, and then the other one has to wait till tomorrow. However, if the second one went ahead, if the second went ahead and checked it first, zacha, and that now the first one has to wait till the next day. Shachat para v'achekach shnei vaneh. If you shechted the mother, and then you shechted two of its children, so you're over Oises B'nai twice, so if Shmoinim, you had two malchus. Shachat shnei vaneh, if you shecht two children, v'achakach shachta, and then you shechted the mother, so you did one aveira of shechting the mother, saving us arba'im, you get one malchus. Shchata v'es bita v'es bas bita. If you shechted it, the daughter, and then the granddaughter. So for shechting the daughter, you're Ivais's Benai, and then shechting the granddaughter, you're also Ivais's Benai, Seifek Shmainim, you get two malchus. But what happens if Shchata v'es bas bita? You shechted it and the granddaughter. So far you didn't do anything wrong. But then on the same day, v'achikach shachat bita, you shechted the original one's daughter, which is also the mother of the granddaughter. So then, you only did one act, but you did two aveiros. So the Tanakama says, since you did one act, even though it was a daughter and a mother, but since it's one act, he holds you only get one malchus. You get two malchuses because you shechted the daughter of the mother and then the mother of the granddaughter. So you did two averis, and therefore you get two malchus. Now, 4 times a year, if you sell on that day a mother, and then you're going to sell to another person on that day its daughter, or vice versa, you have to inform the one that you sold the second one to, because you assume that on that day, the first buyer is shechting it on that day, so you have to let them know, look, I sold the mother, I'm sorry, but you can't shech the daughter today, because he's probably going to shech the mother. You have to tell him, Ima macharti lishchet, I already sold the mother today to shech. Or bita macharti lishchet, or I already sold the daughter today to shech. What are these 4 periods? Elohein, Erev Yom Tov Achron Shel Chag, Erev Shmini Atzeres, because it's assumed that the one that you sold it is to is going to shecht it that day because they prepared a lot for Shmini Atzeres, which is a regular b'fnei atzma. It doesn't say Erev the first days of Sukkot because the Rav says people are too busy to shecht because they're busy making their Sukkah and busy with the Daled Minim. The Erev Yom Tov Rishon Shel Pesach, the Erev of the first day of Pesach, the Erev Atzeres, Erev the first day of Shavuos, and the Erev Rosh Hashanah. Ukedivrei Rabbi said, "Glili af Erev Yom Kippurim bagalol," also Erev Yom Kippur, because it's a mitzvah to eat on Yom Kippur. Not in Galil, they didn't eat such heavy food as meat; they ate only fowl and fish. That's only if you sold the first one on Erev Yom Tov. But if you sold the one the day before, then ain't tzarich lohidiyah. If, let's say, there's a chas on a Monday night, and you sold the mother to the groom's family, even if you did it on Sunday, there's a bas lekala and the child to the bride's family, since they're all preparing it for the chas that night, and they want to have it fresh, you have to let them know, even if there is reb, because they're both shechting it on the day of the wedding, that it should be fresh for the wedding. Now, ba'arba prokim elu, during these 4 periods, which we said was Erev Shmini Atzeres, Erev Pesach, Erev Shavuos, Erev Rosh Hashanah, and Erev Yom Kippur in the Galil, if somebody bought from you meat, you're a sheichet, and bought from you meat, even if you paid a dinar, mashritin es hatabach bal karcha, we make you slaughter the animal, even if you don't have a buyers, and you're going to lose a lot of money because you won't be able to sell the rest of the animal. I feel shor shava elef, even if it's show worth 1,000 dinarim. Ve'ein lo lekech el a dinner, and the lekech only bought a dinner. Kaifen oisay lishkai, and this is a big chiddush because normally it's not a kinyan until he does a meshicha. But over here, since he wants it for Yom Tov, we say that he wants to be kained even with money, and therefore, since he already is an owner of it, lefikach im meis, if it dies, meis lekech, then the buyer takes a loss. The rest of the year, we don't say that he acquires it with the money, and therefore, if it dies, it's the loss to the seller. Ein again lefikach im meis, meis lemeicher. It's a loss to the seller. We want to thank you. Remember, Matzah Shabbos Daf Yomi is early at 8 o'clock, as we changed the clock, 8 o'clock to Blat. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a wonderful Shabbos.